の恋それと You wanna be my friend We are on the girl We are
I've watched a lot of new animes recently, and unfortunately they were filled with nothing but cliche plots, cliche superheroes, and repeated plots that everybody's seen a million times. And the only anime that I've seen that is completely original in every way, and each character has their own personality, is One Piece. Hey everybody, BigAl here. Welcome to the first part of my epic One Piece rant. I report to you live from my bedroom of solitude with the wall of crap. Now, this rant's going to be separated into 4 parts. Some parts are going to be separated into separate sections. It's going to be general thoughts, the 4 Kids takeover, the Funimation revival, and my final thoughts on One Piece. Now then, for the purpose of the general thoughts on One Piece, I'm going to focus on the characters of the Straw Hats, and not really the villains, because the Straw Hats are the ones who make the show. Now, I think One Piece is a great show. I think it's a show that all ages can enjoy. I think it'd make a great family show because it has all these feelings. It has comedy, drama, and it has some real moments in there where people get killed and they have to cope with that. And I think it's a wonderful moral lesson to teach your kids. Now then, let's talk about the characters. First up, Roronoa Zoro, the swordsman of the group. I love Zoro. I mean, he's got 3 swords, 1 in each hand and 1 in his mouth. I think it's great. I mean, as you see in my intro, I kind of failed at it. Well, first of all, they weren't katanas. They were just like a machete, a fucking wooden sword, and a katana that lit up. And he's great. Next, Nico Robin. Ain't she a beaut? She has the ability to sprout body parts out of random places, and I think I would love to have her ability because I could pull some hilarious pranks. I mean, think about it. What if my buddy was sitting over there, and I was just like chilling, watching TV, and all of a sudden, an arm pops out behind him, pokes him in the head. He turned around there. What the fuck was that? That'd be sweet. Next, Tony Chopper. Now, admittedly, I don't really know much about this character, but what I do know is that he had a terrible past. People thought he was a freak because of his blue nose and the fact that he was a humanoid reindeer. And he has the ability to change into 3 forms: his brain point, in which his normal form, his walking point, in which he turns into an actual reindeer, and I believe it's called his strong point, I think, where he turns into this big muscle-bound motherfucker, and then he has this rumble ball, which he eats, and then he can turn into 3 more transformations. Although I'm not really sure what they are, to tell you the truth. And if he eats 2 of them at the same time, he'll turn into this big frickin' monster. Next, Cat Burglar Nami. God, I love her. The reason I love her is because she's an independent tomboy, and I think they need more independent women in anime. I mean, sometimes I feel bad for her, not because Arlong killed her adoptive mother, but because she's paired with every guy in the universe when it comes to fanfics. I mean, it's ridiculous. Nami, what's wrong with an independent woman? I mean, why do people have to pair women of anime who are clearly independent with every guy known to the universe? I mean, it's ridiculous. She has the ability to sense the weather, and she's an awesome pickpocket. She probably rivals Lupin III. And, she has this thing called the Climate Attack. Usopp made it for her. It was originally used for party favors, but it can manipulate the weather. Awesome. Next, Sanji. What the fuck did they do? Actually, the reason why he looks like shit is because they didn't really get a picture of him, so they had to draw him, and they didn't even spell his damn name correctly. This is the reason why you'll never see this poster on the Going Merry or their other ship, because he hates it so much. Now, he's a cook, which makes us blood brothers, because I'm going to the culinary school. And him being a cook, his hands are very important. That's why his attacks involve his feet. What I find ironic about that is that he cries about him having to use his hands, yet most of his attacks have him doing handstands and doing spinning breakdance kicks and shit. So yeah, he's a hypocrite. And he's a real lady killer. In fact, some would say he's a fucking pervert. I mean, he says that every girl he meets, he falls in love with. And it's fucking crazy. Next up, Sogeking, a.k.a. Usopp. Now, Usopp's my favorite character because he has this personality where he acts all tough, but when somebody actually comes to challenge him, he gets the fuck out of there. And I love he doesn't have any devil fruit abilities, but what he does have is an amazing sharpshooting skill with just a slingshot. Now, people criticize him because of this, because his ammo isn't real ammo. He shoots like gumballs and Tabasco sauce and all this shit. And sometimes he'll shoot rotten eggs and shooting stars and shurikens. And I mean, his ammo is very varied. And one day, he told the Straw Hat crew that he was going home, and they didn't have Usopp for a while. Then all of a sudden, the mysterious Sogeking appeared from Sniper Island. Oh, you can fucking tell it's Usopp, because look at that frickin' nose. Look at that. And plus, he's got the curly hair. However, everybody... Now, which is funny, because everybody knew he was Usopp, except for two people, Luffy and Chopper. They thought he was this mystical superhero, and they keep asking for his autograph. But everybody else knew it was Usopp. Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Nico Robin, everybody knew it was fucking Usopp. Next, Frankie. I don't have a wanted poster for him, but he's awesome anyway. I love Frankie. Frankie's like the Hulk Hogan of the frickin' Straw Hats, because he's always posing and saying catchphrases. He's like, ow! Ow! Super! Frankie! And, he's an android who built himself, practically, and he has an awesome fucking hairdo, and the best part about him is, he runs on Coca-Cola. You can't get more badass than an android who runs on Coca-Cola. I mean, I could just picture him on a fucking commercial, for God's sake. Some guy's wandering in the desert, he hasn't had water in days. All of a sudden, Frankie appears, opens up his chest, pulls out a Coke, he says, "Have a Coke! I'm Super Frankie!" And, they open it, and all these bikini babes appear out of nowhere. Frankie's like, ow! 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 I mean, it would be the greatest Coke commercial in the world. And finally, we get to the captain. Monkey D. Luffy! Now, Monkey D. Luffy, at a very young age, ate something called the Gum Gum fruit, which gave him the ability to turn his body into rubber. Hence Gum Gum. And he is famous for being childish and always getting his crew into trouble. And here's what I find hilarious. He's the youngest crew member, but he's also the captain. He's like 18 or 19 years old. He's about my age, but he's always getting his crew into trouble. And he has this childlike demeanor. He's always curious about everything. And he has this fixation about eating as much meat as he can shove down his throat. And kind of like me. But I love him. He's a great character. He's along with Usopp, he provides most of the humor for One Piece. And I just gotta ask, how the hell did they get their pictures? Is there just this freelance photographer around the One Piece land? And when Sanji came around, what was he, 6? So they had to draw him? I mean, seriously, how the hell did they get all these pictures? Was he just like, okay, Luffy, I'm gonna take your picture for a wanted poster for the Marines. Okay. So anyway, that's my general thoughts on One Piece. It's a great show. I think everybody should watch it. If you love pirate shows, then you'll love this. Now, if you're a famous mangaka and you want your show to be popular in places other than Japan, where do you go? The United States. Now, 4 kids bought the license for One Piece. They did